Gunnar Thompson here at Oat Specialties, and on today's video, we're going to go over the needs and basically walk you through the process of ordering if you're a coach or if you're a facility owner or even if you're like a select team coach as well. So I'm going to kind of guide you through exactly how we guide people over the phone. We get a lot of phone calls from coaches that have an idea of what they're wanting to do, but not really an idea of what they need to get or how many or what to fit their budgets. So the first thing that we ask them whenever we talk on the phone is what their needs are. So for a coach, we just need to know what's your immediate needs. I would list them. I would prioritize them, maybe 1 through 4, 1 through 5, however many that you have, and then pick the couple most important ones first. Obviously, it would be the ones that you need to address. So whether that be arm care, and then you can break that down further. We like to break it down to like warm up or recovery, because those are maybe 2 different ideas, 2 different things, and maybe even 2 different products for that specific idea. Movement quality and conditioning, that includes mobility, flexibility, that includes foam rolling, at the beginning of a program. It also includes medicine ball work, whether it be handle medicine balls or pummel balls. So it includes all that. We have strength, and we like to break that down even further to general physical preparation, which is more of your generic like squats and maybe some lunges, push-ups, stuff like that that's very general in nature. And then you get into more of like the special strength physical preparation, and that's going to be like in the middle between general and sport specific. And really, a lot of our product line is in that SPP range anyways. We like to create products that can be used to mimic the movements that you would see on the field. So that's really where we're at. And then the sport specific is really practice and playing. You can't get more sport specific than actually playing the game itself. So then we break it down into velocity, and then you can break that down even further, but we really like the holistic approach. When someone kind of calls and asks us, oh, well, I need something for velocity, we're like, okay, well, we need a little bit more information. Are your kids, lacking some mobility and flexibility? Are they lacking range of motion that they can't get into certain positions in their delivery? Or are they lacking general strength? Or are they lacking, like I said, that SPP, which is more of your sport-specific kind of style? Are they lacking that kind of strength, that kind of movement patterns? Maybe they're just not able to recover very well. Maybe they're able to pitch really well one day, and then the next day they're dropping 5 to 10 miles an hour just because they can't recover. So we like the holistic approach there. And then you can break it down into command, if that's what your most important need is. We break that down a little bit further. And, is your kid an adaptable athlete? As a pitcher, if he misses low and inside on one pitch, is he able to bring it across the plate and hit that low and outside pitch, or a high outside, or whatever the case might be? So the first thing we start with is the needs. We need to know a little bit more information about what your specific needs are for your kids. Next, we move into quantities. And quantities is really dependent upon how you break your practices up. We have a lot of coaches that call and say, I'm going to have, 6 groups of 4. So there'll be 4 athletes in each group, and then they want, those groups to be doing certain things. And so they'll be like, oh, well, I know I need some pummel balls, but how many do I need? I've got groups of 4 here. And so what we tell them is it depends on if you want to have a rest period in between there. If you're looking for a rest period and you have groups of 4, then you may only need 2 of each product. But if you're going to go with no rest, then you're going to need 4 for each athlete. So that's kind of determined by how many groups that you really break your practices down into. And then after you find your needs and the number of products that you need, well, now we can go and work for cost. So, like I said here, it's determined by needs and quantity. So the needs determines the products, what products you need. The quantity determines the number of products, And then we can go over here and look at cost and say, okay, you know, this fits my budget, this doesn't. And then that kind of lends itself to the last thing here, which is versatility. Some of our products actually solve more than one problem, or can help with more than one issue. Let me put it that way, a little bit better. For instance, a pummel ball can be used for movement quality and conditioning, but also can be used for strength. And then we could even break it down, and it can even help with velo. So you kind of get more of the bang for your buck products there whenever you're looking at versatility. We look at warm-up and recovery. You can look at the oscillating bar, for instance. The oscillating bar is nowhere near as popular as our shoulder tube, and rightfully so. Our shoulder tube is still a more premium product, has a much better feel, but the oscillating bar you can travel with, and you can use it at home or when you're on the road, on the bus, whatever. You know, it's 34 inches, so it can fit in a back bag. It's a great product and very versatile in that aspect. So, as a coach, whenever you start kind of realizing trying to put together, you know, a list of equipments for what you need, this is kind of the process that we'll walk you through it. If you do have any questions, you know, feel free to give me a call, 936-295-4459. Feel free to shoot me an email, gunner@oatspecialties.com. We'd love to help you out.